Welcome back to the channel. We are here with an Awakening summoning session, and this banner is pretty stacked. Oh my gosh, I was kind of hoping I could skip this banner, but it's just, I really can't, especially with this duo Chrom. This duo Chrom is absolutely insane. Let's start with our goals though. Our goal is Chrom. We want Chroms. If we can get one really early, I might quit, but if he has bad IVs, we'll probably just go to Spark and pick up a neutral. Our color order is going to be red, green, colorless, and then blue. So let's go ahead and jump in and we can start discussing some of these units, and if we have time, we'll discuss some refines as well. Okay, of course, the first circle has no reds in it. So let's just go with the green. Okay, so let's talk about Lucina. I guess that makes sense. We are in green. So she has a pretty solid stat line. She's one of those speedy axes. And honestly, speed armors have not always been the most amazing units. And that is because the fighter skills kind of trivialize speed to an extent. That's no longer the case, right? We now have an actual speed fighter skill, which is insane, and it's so good. I think I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about her weapon. There's Kane, some Wings of Mercy fodder. So her weapon, Gerbera Axe. What do I want to pull? I'm trying to think if I want to keep, like, be orb efficient, or do I want to just pull reds? I think I just want to pull reds. No, actually, I'm going to pull greens too, I think. I don't know if I skipped a green on the first circle. I don't even remember. Anyway, Gerbera Axe is pretty good. It's a very interesting weapon. So essentially she gets speed +3, and then if she uses any type of movement assist skill, her and the person whose assist skill is being used on, or is the one using it, will get essentially nullification of foes' bonuses during combat. So this is actually pretty good because it allows Lucina to be really good in a save ball. Essentially what you can do is use her preference assist to, her future vision, to use it on the other far saver, or near saver, no, far saver, because she'll be the near saver. And it will essentially give that benefit to them as well. So it makes her like really good in save balls. And I feel like that's kind of the theme for the armors this year, is like save balls essentially, because they just really help everybody else on their team. She also gets +5 stats if the foe initiates combat, or if the foe's HP is greater than 75%. Not my favorite thing, to be honest. I don't really like the 75% HP condition when it's on the foe, because it like makes it kind of difficult to like finish things off sometimes. And then obviously if the foe initiates, then that's not a bad condition, considering she's pretty much an enemy phase unit exclusively, even though she has high speed, which is a bit weird, because typically when you have a high speed unit, you kind of want dual phase out of them. But she's going to struggle a bit because not only of the weapon effect, but also because of Savvy Fighter, we're going to discuss a little bit later on. But she also gets 40% damage reduction. So, I mean, she's pretty good, right? Like 40% damage reduction is nothing to laugh at, especially on an armor who don't have access to like any kind of speed-based damage reduction, or like the dragons who have like Dragon Wall or something like that. So it's pretty solid. But then we come to Savvy Fighter, the new fighter skill. And this skill is just extremely good. There is one downside, I'll say, but overall it's very strong. So essentially this is no follow-up for armors, but the downside, actually I'm gonna grab the colorless orb for 3 orbs as well. The downside is that the foe has to initiate combat, so that is kind of it's not the best. It's really good on save balls, obviously, because you're just gonna sit there and wait for enemies to run into you, but not being able to use it on player face definitely sucks a bit. But I think it's fair because they do get the second, you get the second effect as well, which is damage reduction. So you get 30% damage reduction if your speed is higher than 4 against the opponent. So this means that units that are going to be using this really need to stack speed, which is good and bad, right? It's kind of like the same thing with speed-based tanks. So like all of our god swords we had before, you have to stack speed on them. And the problem with that is that you're not stacking defense or resistance. And while 40% damage reduction is very strong, you still want to have solid defensive stats so that you can survive multiple encounters. So I think that is a bit not the best, but overall I'd say this skill is like extremely strong. It's going to be very, very good on any speedy unit you can, or any speedy armor you have. So things like Ignatz, maybe Felix. Black Knight, I want to say, could use this, but his speed is not the best. I think you can get up to like 46 speed with like max merges and flowers and summoner support. And then you can run speed skills. So you could run like Kestrel Stance or like Darting Breath to give him like another 10. But even then, I feel like units are so fast nowadays, I'm not sure if it's really that good on him. I don't know if he's going to be able to hit that speed check, because not only does he need to win the speed check, he needs to win it by 4 to get the damage reduction. But on Lucina, obviously, she's just insanely fast. 42 with the super boon, so that's 46, and then another speed 3 on top of that, so that's 49 speed just coming out the gates. No merges, you know what I mean? Like, that's just pretty fast. So I don't think she's going to have a problem with it. She's going to be really good with it. And I expect her to be... I don't know if she's going to show up like super hard in the meta just because she is a seasonal. And availability always is a problem. Especially because FEH users are the only ones that are going to get to Spark for her. And I feel like most people will Spark for duo Chrom over Lucina. So unfortunately, that is the case. But I do think she's a very strong unit, very solid. She's going to be great in save balls. And she is in a very unique position compared to the other green armors we typically have, like Brave Edelgard or Gustav, where they are extremely slow and they kind of rely on the power of their weapon and the save skills to really protect them. While she is going to be extremely fast, so she's going to be able to just nullify a lot of those guaranteed follow-ups. It is interesting too how her damage reduction works, because it's multiplicative, not additive. So you're not going to get that 70% damage reduction. You're going to get like, I think it's like 58% or something like that. So it's going to be a bit less than like Gustav, who has like 75% on that first hit, or Edelgard, who has, I think, is it 75% or 80% on the second hit? But I do think she's definitely going to have a unique place in the meta, which is cool. Now, we are not having very good luck, are we? We are up to 3.75. I guess it's not bad. It's not even 4% yet. Okay, either way, let's move on to the next character. Let's move on to female Robin with her Akamini's Furl. They pick some very interesting names for their weapons, don't they? So she has special cooldown on her weapon, which is amazing because it lets her either run a powerful special like Iceberg to destroy some enemies, or you can really double down on healing and run something like Soul, which is super good. And then she also gets a really unique effect. So they take that tactics effect that is often tied to Robin. Like male Robin and female Robin both have that refine on their base weapon. You get like +4 to all stats if you have a tactics buff, essentially. And so they put that on her weapon, right? Which is really interesting. And then it gives essentially +5 to all stats except for speed. And then it's on foes within 3 spaces though. Oh my god, let's go. Let's go. That's pretty good. That's awesome. Okay. So how far are we in? Halfway? I'll probably just finish it. Plus resistance too. Minus defense, not that great. I don't know why I put good IV. It's not good IV. Yeah, we'll do the other ones too. Why not? Anyway, back to what I was saying. So it's not plus stats. It's attack, defense, and resistance -5 on all foes within 3 spaces during combat. So what that means is that she's really good with other save units because she's gonna offer this stat buff to all of them, which is it's very, very, very strong, right? It's a very powerful buff. And then if you have 2 or more unit types, so and it's not counting her, you get 30% damage reduction, which isn't bad. It's not like super phenomenal. Obviously, you usually want more than 30%, but that's gonna help her out a lot because she is extremely bulky. She has 39 defense, 42 resistance, so she's very bulky. She is slow though, but that's fine. And then lastly, if you have more than 3 different unit types on your team, then you are going to get healing. You're going to heal 5 HP per hit to yourself and all units within 3 spaces. That is so good. What this means is you can essentially use this to substitute some healing, not only on Robin, but on other units around her. Because obviously, like a unit like, let's say, Brave Hector, right, relies on Mystic Boost typically to heal. And this can add more healing. Because now whenever ranged units come in, you could have Robin take the far save hits and then also be healing up Hector at the same time if he's running like a near save build, which is super good. So essentially she is built to be in a save ball, and she's probably the best far saver we might have right now. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know if she's better than Hector, if I'm being completely honest. Hector is really, really good, but she is built more for it, and she's going to work better in a pure save ball. While Hector, sometimes you'll just let Hector do all of it by himself. You'll just throw him out in the front. He'll far save. He'll take the melee hits as well. With this, Robin's going to be really good when you're running 2 save units. which is it's honestly really strong right now. I don't like using that strategy just because I feel like it's too strong and it makes Ether Raids even more boring, because Ether Raids isn't that much fun at the moment, in my opinion. So using a save ball just kind of like trivializes it. But yeah, she's absolutely phenomenal. The only bad thing I'd say about Robin is that her base kit is kind of trash, if I'm being completely honest. I do not like her base kit at all. She has Odd Fighter, Even Follow. She has Even Follow 3 and AD Far Save. So the problem with this, right, is Even Follow Up is not great. That is not what you want. You want something much more reliable so that you can get the guaranteed doubles. And then AD Far Save isn't bad. Like, attack and defense isn't bad, but really you want more resistance, if I'm being completely honest. So you'd be better off with like attack resistance far save or defense resistance far save. Both of those are going to help you out a ton more. So you're really going to want to put a new kit on her. You probably won't change out the save skill because save skills are pretty premium at the moment. But you'll definitely change out the B skill, and you're going to have to give her a good A skill. So definitely not the most fun unit to build out the gate, but it's not that big of a deal. If you love female Robin, this is a great ult and definitely worth picking up. Okay, we're going to talk about Owain really quick, because honestly, if you're a 4-star unit without PRF, you're kind of screwed in this game. He does have a good stat line, 38 attack, 42 speed, both super boons. His weapon gives like half NFU, and then you could run like Flow Refresh or Flow Guard and get kind of full NFU, but not really. It's like 75% NFU. He does have Blue Flame, which is good for like arena units, like if you want to inherit that. But other than that, there's really not much to talk about. So we're going to keep moving on. I'm glad to see more Owains in the game because I really do love Owain a lot. But this is not his greatest version, if I'm being completely honest. So let's move on to Chrom. Chrom is the star of this banner. Chrom is insane. He's easily one of the most powerful duo units we've received up to this point. And that's not even considering his duo skill, to be honest. That's really just his kit. And like, he is bonkers good. And there are a few reasons for that. Essentially, they made Legendary Chrom like red and then gave him some more effects to make him even more powerful. So his stat line is 40 HP, 44 attack. 44 attack on a ranged unit with a super boon. So right out the gate, he's coming out with, you know, if you get attack super boon, that's 48 attack, 14 from the bow. That's 62 attack with no merges or dragon flowers. That's nuts. That's really scary. Then he has 27 speed with a super bane. Not the best. I really don't like that. Legendary Chrom has a super boon in speed, which does help him out actually, because you do want a speedy Legendary Chrom. And that might be the case for this duo Chrom as well. There are some ways to kind of get around that with this Chrom. So you don't necessarily have to speed stack him. You can run some other builds for sure. But not having a super boon, it doesn't hurt him but it's not the best. Like, the reason why it doesn't hurt him is because he has one more speed than Legendary Chrom does. So essentially he can get the same speed, exact same speed as Legendary Chrom, I think. Or it's like one less because of Dragon Flowers. Something like that. It's pretty close. So it's not the biggest deal, but I definitely would have liked to see that super boon, because I would like to probably build him pretty speedy. Anyway, next he has 40 defense with a super boon and then 26 resistance with a super bane. So lots of super boons, lots of super banes. Really kind of do want a neutral one. That's why I was kind of thinking of sparking. But let's talk about his weapon. So Destiny's Bow has the special cooldown -1, which is different from Legendary Chrom, which had the attack on it. As effective against armor foes still. But the insane part is if you use a movement assist skill, you get cooldown reduction on turns 1 through 4. Not only on Chrom, but on the person who either used the assist or received the assist. This is insanely strong. This is... Oh, let's go! Oh, I'm very happy. I like Lucina a lot. This isn't really my favorite ult of her. I think my favorite ult is probably Brave Lucina. But, oh, attack. Nice. And minus resistance. That's actually really good because user is a near saver. But I'm very happy to see her. And I think, to be honest, this new Savvy Fighter is really tempting. But I don't think I'll kill Lucina for it. We're at 3.5. Do I care? Yeah, let's do the rest. Why not? Anyway, so back to his bow. So this is actually one of the most insane effects ever. Having cooldown reduction you can control allows you to do so many insane... Oh my god, let's go. I even got Owain, who I wasn't even summoning for. That's amazing. It just allows you to control cooldown reduction to an extent you've never been able to before, which is super good. The thing with like infantry pulse or times pulse or anything else is that it can be counterplayed really easy, right? You have those pulse ties, you have pulse smoke, and you can just, what the heck? Let's go. Silk. I love Silk. Silk's amazing. I don't even know. Is she 4-star special, right? No, right? Plus speed. That's not very good. That's normal, right? I can't remember. I don't think she's 4-star special, right? No, there was no effect. So, right? Okay. Anyway, back to Chrom. I don't think we're going to have enough time to talk about any more funds. What do we do now? Do we do colorless? Try to get Robin? No, let's do green again. That way we can possibly get Savvy Fighter fodder. Anyway, allowing you to control that cooldown reduction lets you just play around pulse ties. It lets you play around infantry pulses or any kind of counterplay. And that's going to be extremely strong in Summoner Duels ranked. Even in Ether Raids, it's going to be very, very good too. So I'm honestly just like baffled that they actually gave him this powerful of an effect. It's super good. You can just control so much, and that's not even counting the rest of his kit. He gets +5 to all stats, which means that he actually is faster than Legendary Chrom because he's getting that +5 speed that Legendary Chrom doesn't get from his weapon. And he gets a guaranteed follow-up attack. Like, what were they thinking when they made this weapon? This weapon is so overly refined and stacked. It's just absolutely absurd how strong this weapon is. Do I want to pull the greens? Yeah, we're gonna do the greens. I have no self-control. I really do want to put it on on Black Knight, but I don't think it's that good. But maybe I could speed stack him really hard. I guess I have to pull her first to even think about that. I'm not going to spend any more orbs on this. Anyway, so he gets that. He gets a guaranteed follow-up attack. Auto follow-up attacks are really strong in weapons, especially when you speed stack. Because the thing about auto follow-ups is that they let you get past things that deny your follow-up. So even if you are running, like let's say you win the speed check, but then they deny your follow-up, right? Then with a guaranteed follow-up attack, you can still get it. It's very, 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 very good. It's extremely strong. Speed stacking on top of it makes it even better. So yeah, I can't believe they gave him that. He also scores really well in Arena, but then we get to his duo skill, and his duo skill is kind of bonkers. So it's pretty much -5 to all stats to him and all units within 2 spaces, and then you get Unity. Yeah, Unity. So that's, you're just gonna buff all your stats up an insane amount. And if that wasn't enough, they added an impact effect. So you can make it so that units don't get follow-up attacks. Because why not, right? Let's not give him any more power. Like, what were they thinking? Oh, this is so strong. In Ether Raids, obviously, you're never gonna get the chance to really use this effect. That's just unfortunately really how it is nowadays. You really have to destroy either their duo units or their duo's hindrance. And the problem with that is that you really want this effect before. It's not like a Gale Force effect like with Duo Lin or Duo Corrin, where you could kill stuff and then use that ability and keep killing stuff. You really want to use this like on it when the enemy's engaging you or something, or before you engage. So I don't think it's going to be that good in AR, to be honest, but in Summoner Duels Ranked, it's going to be really, really strong because all those people who like to debuff you, now you activate this and all of a sudden their debuffs are helping you. And you're going to be destroying so many things. And if you are a Fallen Ike fan like I am, you can now have triple Unity on Fallen Ike, which is disgusting, super crazy. I don't know how I'll do that. Like, I don't know how I'll possibly use that, but that is a possibility. Okay, last thing we'll talk about really quick. Deadeye is amazing, obviously. Super easy to charge. He has the cooldown reduction in his weapon. You do one change fate or someone does an assist skill on you, you have Deadeye. You're ready to kill. Cool thing about this is if you speed stack hard enough, which you can do, and you somehow outspeed Fjorm, I'm pretty sure you actually can double then, right? And what that means is that if you don't do change fate, you can hit with the first hit and then the second hit can Deadeye, which is pretty good. That could kill her for sure. He might be able to just kill her straight up. I'm not 100% sure. He does have the armor effectiveness and red, so it is a possibility. Next, Times Pulse. Amazing. Good. Okay. Lastly, Close Salvo. Let's actually go and look at this for a second. Close Salvo. right here is trash. This is trash. This is hot garbage trash, stupid trash. This is garbage. Throw this away. Don't use this. That's my biggest recommendation. You don't want recoil damage. You don't want... essentially what makes this like supposedly good in air quotes is that you get plus attack 5 in both phases, but you take recoil damage, and I would just rather use close reversal or close foil. I'd rather use either of those if I was going to do that, right? Either of those are better in my opinion by a lot. By a lot, like way better. But honestly, with this type of unit, you really don't want a close counter build anyway. It's just like legendary Chrom. Close counter legendary Chrom is okay. It's not bad. He's a good unit that way. But when you put an A skill here that gives him damage in any form, it's going to be way better. So if you want to run some impact effects, because his duo skill won't always be available on every single turn, or not available at all sometimes in ether rates, that's a great choice. Attack speed ideal, attack speed catch, swift sparrow, anything. There's going to be better A skills. Don't use close salvo. It's big poop. Definitely do not use it. Okay, that's where we're going to end it. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to talk about any of our finds. That's just kind of how it is when you have a smaller summoning session. But I'll definitely find it somewhere to talk about it in a different video. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Also drop a comment telling me how your summoning session went. Tell me if you summoned it at all, if you're still trying to hold out for Hero Rises, which will be sometime in like mid or late March, or if you can't resist because Chrom and Robin got a duo, and not only is that amazing, it is powerful. This is one of the most powerful units in the game, easily in my opinion. He's absolutely absurd, absolutely strong. Definitely worth getting a one copy of him. The other units are good as well, but Duo Chrom is really in a league of his own. He's definitely up there with the top tier units like Yuri and stuff, and that's why I definitely couldn't resist pulling him. So I hope that your summons went well. I hope you pulled something good with your tickets, and I'll catch everyone later for more Fire Emblem Heroes. See you then. Bye.